How to build a bigger overhead press. Hello and welcome to the channel. This is Vasilius Strength. My name is Vasilius and I'm going to be talking over this short clip of me going through a section of my shoulder workout which focuses on the main lift of the workout, which is the strict overhead press. This is my latest shoulder workout, and as you can see I've got 85 kilos on the bar. In this workout I have to do 5 reps for 3 sets. To be able to progress through this program, which the weights get heavier each week, I need to do everything I can during the week to make sure I'm able to lift the next week's weights. So that includes things like this, which I'm doing now, which is laying over a keg, which could be a foam roller, with a band in my hand. So the keg is placed on my thoracic spine, and I'm trying to extend my spine over the keg. The band helps me get more tension, helps me get a deeper stretch. I do some laying over the keg and feel my spine gently extend over the keg. And then I also do some rolls as well, some little rolls, to further stretch out and massage that musculature, that stiff, tight musculature that surrounds my thoracic spine. I've got a really stiff thoracic muscles. So I do a lot of foam rolling, a lot of extending over med balls, yoga style stretches, and as you can see, laying over the keg. I use the band in my hand on this one just to get a bit more of a deep stretch. Also, the bonus is you get to stretch out your lats as well at the same time by having your arms extended, as I did, grabbing onto the band. That's a good deep lat stretch, so bonus there. But yeah, you don't have to have a beer keg to do that. You can use a foam roller or a medicine ball. Most people just use a foam roller. But the important thing is not worrying about what you're actually doing it on, but it's just to do it often. There's no good just doing it one time and then just not bothering with it again, because you won't get the benefit. So, looks like this next thing I'm doing is I'm using a resistance band. And you can see here, I'm pressing horizontally outwards against the bands whilst performing like a shoulder press movement. So this is not only activating the external rotators, but it's also strengthening them as well. I'm pressing it quite hard, so this is actually kind of like a strengthening exercise, not just a stretchy kind of thing that you do before your big lift. Even though I am going to go straight from this onto the barbell press, which you'll see after just like a short break. So, just about to do the overhead press, putting on all my gear. I've got my elbow sleeves on, got my strongman belt on. Then I'm going to put my main belt, and then I'll put my wrist straps on. It might look a bit silly doing all these things, even especially when I'm on the lighter weights in the program. People must be thinking, "Cool, he needs a lot of gear just to do, 20 kilos on the bar." But it's best to do everything in your lighter workouts that you would do in your heavier workouts. That way everything remains the same. You increase the skill on that lift by repeating it constantly. Nothing changes whether it's heavy or light. That's the whole point. So I even take that a step further and do it with the stuff that I'm wearing as well. So even on my lightest days, I'm still wearing the wrist straps, the belt, just to get used to everything, so that everything stays exactly the same throughout the whole program. So keeping everything the same throughout the whole program, that especially applies to your form as well. So even in the early days of the program, when everything's light and you can get up very easily without necessarily having to do all the cues that you would do with your heavier weights, it's best that you just start as you mean to go on. Otherwise, when it gets to the heavier weights, you're going to have to be learning kind of from starting from scratch, learning that new skill that you're incorporating into the lift, whereas it should already be trained. So all you have to do is increase the weight and then everything else stays the same. You're not changing your form mid-program. So that's what I do. So I've gone up to the bar, I'm doing my lifts. Now this is my worst set. You can see I had a little stumble off the feet in there, but still got the 5 reps, and that's cool. Luckily I was trained well enough, because I've been doing everything the same throughout the whole program, that even with a little shake, where I wasn't completely focused, I was able to, even while holding the weight in the air, I was able to just adjust, had the core strength to be able to not let that be a problem and finish the set, which is really cool. Looks like there I was even laughing about it to someone, how I had that little stumble, because I don't usually have stumbles like that when I'm doing the overhead press. My feet are usually firmly planted to the ground with strong straight legs and tensed glutes. But obviously I had that moment of where I lost focus, probably because I've got the camera on me. I was talking to people beforehand, you have that sometimes. But nevertheless, job done. So now it looks like I'm doing some lat stretches. So I'm using the bar for leverage. And I'm sinking down into a nice deep lat stretch with a bit of twist, which really helps stretch the lower portion of the lat, especially when you kind of play with your hip position. You'll find that that changes the way the stretch feels. Actually, this guy here that I'm talking to, he happens to be one of my PT clients. I've got him on a program, done some sessions with him, and he has a really, really nice strict overhead press. And I reckon when he's finished the program, he's going to be an absolute beast. So look out for him. Right now, I'm sinking down, holding the bar with one hand. You'll see I take the other hand off the bar, and then I fall down like that and do some rolls up, rolls down, rolls up, rolls down, switch the hands. This is another great stretch you can do as well. Where a lot of the other exercises I've been doing for ages, this is one I've only recently incorporated into my program, and I'm feeling the benefits already. I feel like my shoulders are just getting strong all round, durable, and able to withstand the punishment that I give them. Here's just a basic hang from a bar, stretches the lats, stretches the spine out. And that is the last thing that I do in this little video. So hope you enjoyed it, got some stuff out of it, and I'll see you next time for the next video.